Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing well today. I want to talk to you today about something that is very personal to me, and I want to ask you a question. Is there anything that you have done in your life since you were 18 years old? Pretty much nonstop until now. Well, breathing, of course, drinking water, but in terms of your social or your spiritual life, I started meditating when I was 18. So meditation has been for me a friend throughout my life, and it started off when I was about 18, 19, as a means for dealing with my stress and my sadness. My mom was very sick, and I was dealing with that myself. There was just a lot going on in the world, and I was just dealing with sadness. And I don't know how I fell into it, but I think I just suddenly one day just sat down and started breathing and realizing that there was a value here to just taking some time to be still. And I did read a lot of books. I think the first book I read was something like Meditation in Action. And it was just about how to apply meditation to your everyday life, how to not make it something that was like superimposed, but just something that you did. And I used that as a way of kind of coping. And then when I was in my 20s, I moved, after my mom died, I moved to Boulder. I think I've told this story before, but it's kind of interesting, where I moved to Boulder, Colorado, went to school there, and I took a degree in comparative religion. This was my passion. I really wanted to understand religions of all kind, and I still have that passion, and understand how it fits into our view of the world and our sanity as human beings. But I got very interested in Eastern religions, and I went to India. I went when I was about 23 or so, I think. I can't quite remember, but I went on my own to India, and it was early days. This is where there weren't a lot of tourists, and I just blended in. I just went to various ashrams and stayed in like their version of hostels. I had no money at all, and I just studied. I studied nonstop, and I learned about Buddhist meditation. I went to Nepal and up to in southern India, and learned about Buddhism. And I think I brought that back as probably the one that made most sense to me. It was more practical, and that's the meditation that I started doing as I was younger, and it's carried through all my life. I did actually try transcendental meditation for a while with Maharishi, and the mantra that they gave me was useful. And I sometimes fall back on that simple mantra, because it is a word that you can just kind of remember. And but I did actually move more into the kind of spiritual, philosophical foundations of meditation, and it's been with me all my life. And I've used it when I've been happy. I've used it, just to wake up in the morning as a ritual, something that centers my day, and then also something that I've used when I've been under stress and dealing with some loss or pain or just sadness. And my meditation has become a hook that I know I can just put my code up there and sit down and take 20 minutes a day, and everything seems to just get calmer and easier. And so I want to talk to you about what I consider to be the 5 benefits of meditation and mindfulness for older adults, now for older women. And I know that there's some confusion about what is mindfulness and what is meditation. And I think that one leads to the other. So I think meditation can lead to mindfulness. And of course, I think you can develop mindfulness in other ways. I mean, a lot of our women in our community are from different faiths and different belief systems, and I totally respect that 1,000,000%. And you have your own words to describe meditation and mindfulness. But just a distinction, mindfulness is basically a way of life. It's a way of living in the present, to be completely engaged in the current moment, to live without judgment, to live without being mindful of how things are connected, how people are different, and being not judgmental. It's kind of a way of being, paying full attention to things as they happen. Now, our phones have actually taken this away from us a little bit, because I was on the train yesterday, and I honestly, I looked around me and everybody was on their phone. And in a way, I guess that's their mindfulness, in the sense that they are where they want to be. They're right there. Now, for me, mindfulness is more, I don't know, just being sensitive to the world around me and looking out rather than looking down at a phone. But that's just me. I use my phone all the time. I mean, I'm not certainly judging people with phones, because I'm just as engaged with my telephone, with my mobile. But I think for me, mindfulness is that awareness of just being in the now, not trying to predict the future, not trying to reflect on the past, but just staying right there where you are. So it's a way of being, a way of living. It's not a practice, and this is my interpretation anyway of a specific meditative strategy. So meditation, on the other hand, is a more structured practice. It's actually setting aside time in your day. It can be morning, evening, anytime, but setting aside some time where you're going to practice mental kind of clarity and emotional calm, sitting in a quiet place. You can focus on a mantra, a word. You can focus on your breath, or you can focus on an image, and that image can be in front of you or it can be in your mind. So depending on, and by the way, I'm not a meditation teacher, right? I'm just a practitioner, and so for me, I have my own ways of defining these things. But the five key benefits: first of all, reducing stress significantly, chronic stress, health problems. I'm crossing my legs tightly. I can feel, so you get sensitive. That's mindfulness, watching that my legs were crossed and like pincing together, relaxing. It's a way to relax your body and your mind, and to deal with mental health issues. If you're struggling with, I don't know, any kind of issue, whether it's self-worth or dealing with an emotional connection to someone else, it lowers your cortisol levels. It actually does. They've done meditation tests, with people, with monks and people that meditate a lot, and found that there is significant reduction in cortisol and stress hormones in general. And, you can use it for specifically certain kinds of stress, like if you're going through decision making, waiting for a diagnosis, just waiting for some news to come through. You can use meditation in that way as a way of reducing your anxiety and your stress. That's the kind of the first thing that definitely meditation will do for you. The second thing is it improves your focus. So if you're trying to focus on, and you got to present somewhere, you've got to go and you take a test, driver's test. You got to go and talk to someone in an official capacity. You're kind of, just all over the place with emotions and fears and worries. And I think that focusing on a single point of reference actually helps you to improve your focus. You can get like all the other stuff somewhere else and then just focus on the immediate. Today I'm going to do this, and that's meditation can set you up. If you do it first thing in the morning or whenever before your activity, it's really, really helpful. Another thing is sleep. I often will meditate before I go to sleep. Now I don't know about you, but I'm kind of a busy person in the evening. I don't sit down and watch a movie or relax. I kind of work through the evening. So by the time I get ready to go to sleep, which is usually early, like 10 o'clock, because I wake up early, I'm kind of a bit buzzed, I'm a bit, full of things. So I will actually sit and knit sometimes, but then I'll also just put everything away, put my phone away, and just meditate. And sometimes often it results in me falling asleep. So I tend to put a cushion behind me so that if my head doesn't get too creaky. But so meditation can help you fall asleep. It can help you stay asleep. And it goes back to that thing of stress. If you can get your stress under control, then your sleep, I think, comes easier. It really does help with relaxation. So you can do, there's one thing you can do, I've made a note here, scanning meditation, where you can lie down flat on your bed or sofa, wherever, and you start relaxing from the toes to the feet, to the calves, to the knees, to the thighs, to the stomach, and you go all the way up your body until you get to your brain, to your head, and you'll find often you get to your stomach and then you're asleep. But if you can do it in a structured way. If you do yoga, this is Shavasana. This is where you take a moment at the end of yoga to lie down completely still and just let everything be relaxed. Bring the energy back as you re-engage. Another thing, of course, is your emotional health. I think that helping to produce a positive attitude, helping you with negative self-talk is all part of what meditation can offer. So I think that mental health benefit is super important. Your emotional health is as important as your physical, in my opinion. Another thing it can do is reduce pain. Now, I, as you know, went through a couple of experiences this last couple of years with my body, and I was in the hospital. And I'm telling you, this is just me. I mean, I'm not trying to preach meditation. I have nothing I have no association with anyone or any group. But I used it for pain management, and it really helped. Mostly just the breathing. The meditation that I do is involved with breath. And for that, I found it so, so helpful. It was not just the perception of pain, but it was just dealing with it and moving into it and, using it to relax. Really, really helpful. So those were some of the reasons. I think there were 5 or 6 there, but that I think meditation is really useful for older people. Are there any here that you really relate to? Are you meditating regularly? Is it something that you do maybe sporadically? But I'd like to know what people are doing with their meditation practice, or are you more just focused on mindful living, which is okay too? I mean, it's all about reducing the stress and just dealing with the world as it is spinning around us, crazy world. But I'd love to have your feedback and your comments. I mean, basically, how do you practice meditation or mindfulness, and how's your experience been? Tell us. Anyway, everyone, have a wonderful day. Maybe just sit down for 5 minutes now, do some meditation. See what you think. And there's plenty of videos online, lots of different people that can teach you how to meditate, but you know what to do. You've got it. I'm preaching to the choir, I'm sure. But have a really, really great day, everybody. Take good care. Lots and lots of love.